Joining us now in Studio B to preview tonight's BYU-Utah State Gymnastics meet is the head coach of BYU Women's Gymnastics, Guard Young. Guard, nice to have you back.
What's up, Coach?
Yes, good to be back, guys.
We learned something about you, and it deals with our arena. You studied broadcast journalism at BYU.
Yeah, in fact, before you guys were even here, before this building was even built, and had BYU broadcast building been here, who knows where I would have been. Don't think I would be coaching.
I think you made the right choice, though. Like, you've had a meaningful life.
I've just worked really hard.
Are you saying our lives have no meaning, Jerem?
We'll discuss later. What did you take classes in the? Was it in the HVAC at the time, the Harris Fine Arts Center?
Yeah. So my first semester at BYU, they broke ground at that new library, and so for 4 years I walked around. We called it the pit.
Yeah.
They literally dug down, I think, 1,000 feet, and we were in the HVAC. So I was running from Smithfield House to HVAC, back to Smithfield House, back to HVAC. And it was a good way to get some cardio in, I think, for my training. And then the day I left BYU, they dedicated the library. So,
In your honor.
Well, if you ever want to pursue the broadcast journalism, you know a couple of people that think they know a thing or two.
Yeah.
Guard Young with us, the gymnastics coach for BYU. By the way, last week against Utah, when I was watching the meet, it was really fun to watch your celebrations and your reactions for the hits and sticks that you see your athletes perform. Do you critique and review yourself on film like you do your girls?
no, I get into it. I mean, every time that they're going, it's like I'm back in the arena of competition. So, I just get caught up in the moment, I think. I'm kind of finding myself, I mean, year 2 now. And so, if you watch me on the vault, I'm standing behind them, and I'm going to be like a human body bag. I'll just catch them if they're flying at me. And the reason is because if I'm not, then one of my other athletes is going to do it, and, things happen. So let me take the blows. And then bars is primarily the event that I coach, so I'm at every turn, every handstand, every landing. I'm like living it with the
I love
girls.
it.
And then I kind of settle down. That balance beam is one that I never did. I have a hard time watching. So I've kind of picked up our little camera, and I'll do the film. I'll do the filming, and I'll just sit in the background and let my other coaches kind of run the show from there. So I kind of finding my place a little bit.
Emotionally, how does it compare to when you were the gymnast versus now the coach?
It's way harder as a coach.
Yeah.
Way harder.
Why is that?
Yeah. You don't have any control. As an athlete, you had control. So it's hard.
Yeah, to watch them go out and perform because they practice and train so hard, but when it comes time for the event, you got to let your athletes do their thing.
Yeah, one shot.
You have one shot. And we've referenced that a couple of times during the live meets. It's like, look, you practice so hard, and now you've got a number of seconds to try and make it happen. What have you learned about your team and their ability to compete with those one shots, per se, through the first 2 meets of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we're a young team this year. We have 8 freshmen. So we lost some, key figures. Mackenzie Halliday and Emily Vidmar were just huge, key, consistent players for us. So I'm really happy with the freshmen, how they stepped up. Shannon Hortman's a local girl, has just come in, been back-to-back conference player for us in the all-around. Jill Van Mierlo really struggled with a foot injury all last year. She's back in the all-around. So we're getting some key players back. They're learning a lot, and we're a young team. Like I said, we only have 1 senior on the team. So, I'm even thinking that, looking forward even for next year, going, oh, man, we're going to start loading this here pretty soon. But I'm real happy for them. We always don't think about scores or, gymnastics, there's no offense, there's no defense. No matter what they do, is not going to affect what we do. We just go out and we try to be BYU. We try to keep it light and fun. I don't think, being, uptight and rigid is a good way to approach a gymnastics meet. So, before we went out to Penn State, I felt like the pressure was mounting. And so I grabbed the girls and we ran them into the racquetball courts, and I had water balloons. I said, okay, you're going to huck water balloons at each other for an hour. And that was practice for the day. So
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. We need to do that in here.
I would recommend it. So
That's one of the best things
awesome.
I've ever heard from a coach to release stress.
Oh my goodness! BYU fans are watching the men's basketball team. They have a lot of freshmen and sophomores. You talked about some of the youth of your team. What's it like coaching kind of a younger group as you try and you want to be successful now, but you're also building a program in year 2.
What's great having about young kids in is they're just like so eager to follow anything. They're just like little puppy dogs, like What's hard is that senior leadership, and I think that's something that we're missing this year. Some of the juniors are stepping up. Brittany Wild has been great. I guess it's Haas now. Brittany Haas has been great as a captain and a quiet leader on the team. So, like I said, just moving forward, I'm looking to see some of these girls step into those leadership roles as the season goes on and then even on to next year 3 for me.
Utah State in Provo tonight. You talked about competing against yourself. There's no offense, no defense. So how much does the head-to-head really matter when you look at this meet, specifically Utah State tonight?
Well, I'm a very competitive person. Just leave me alone for an hour after any loss, and so I can kind of digest it. But, this is a team that they're a good team. They kind of slipped up their first meet out, and we're like, okay, Utah State, I think we got them. And then they hit a great mark last weekend. So I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to come down to what I always say to you guys, hits and sticks.
Yeah.
Hits and sticks, baby.
How many sticks do they get? How many sticks do we get? How many hit routines do they have? That's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be a shootout. They're a great team. We match up well with them. And we're gunning for them. We're not pulling people back. We're going to gun for them.
Does your Olympic silver medal have dust on it?
Yes.
Time to polish that thing
Yeah.
off.
I need to dust it off. Will you bring it in one?
Hey, wait a second.
we see it?
We had Olympics this summer. Where was the invitation to come in? And
That's
you
true.
know,
Do you want to come in August? A few months ago.
Vast oversight on our part.
Listen, in 4 years we'll bring you in. That's a promise.
All right.
That's a promise.
All right.
From Spencerland.
If I'm still here. They haven't fired me yet, so.
Oh no. Guard Young doing good things for BYU women's gymnastics.
Your last name's Young at BYU. You'll be fine.
Let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma for the coach
Yeah.
and for your team tonight to go and perform well against Utah State. You wore the number 10 on your uniforms last week. Will that be the same case tonight?
No, we got our last year jersey that we came out with, which is more the blue and navy, the white and navy, and the sparkles and the swirls. Again, this is
Okay.
not my element here.
Okay.
Are you going to wear some sparkles tonight?
The uniform that we unveiled last weekend was kind of a throwback jersey look,
It's cool.
and we've got a lot of mixed reactions. I liked it, and we're going to stick with it. So
Yeah, it was a shout out to it was like the idea of competing for perfect 10.
yeah, exactly.
Really cool.
I love it.
Guard, it's great to have you with us, man. We apologize for not having you on during the Olympic run.
Yeah, I feel bad now. Hits and sticks, baby.
Hits and sticks.
Yeah, we missed on that one. We fell on that
All
one.
right. All right.